Hello and welcome to my yoga channel. My name is Elizabeth and today I have for you a practice involving the back. We're going to be doing some stretches and some mobility work. We're going to start standing and then we're going to come down to the floor. So maybe by the end of this practice, you'll be standing a little bit taller and moving a little bit more easily. As always, take things at your own pace. Listen to your body, be guided by your breath, and remember, don't push yourself into any positions that your body really doesn't want to go into. So we are going to start standing today. I would like you to plant your feet on your mat in a position that feels natural and comfortable to you. So it's generally underneath the hips. Just take a moment and play around with that foot position. Take it a little bit wider, a little bit narrower, until you come to a spot where you feel really stable. So if you close your eyes, you don't feel too wobbly. Obviously, if you are feeling wobbly, keep your eyes open and just focus on a point in front of you. But if it feels okay to do so, just close the eyes just for a moment or two, a second or two, taking a nice breath in through the nose and feeling the lungs and the belly expand. And as you exhale, to see if you can shrug your shoulders down a little bit, feeling your feet pushing down into the earth here. Let the arms hang naturally by the side. And already you can feel the effect of gravity drawing you down, dropping those shoulders. And then see if we can work against gravity by trying to lift a little bit through our neck, through the crown of our head, making ourselves a tiny bit taller here. As we are standing in this position, which is called mountain pose or Tadasana, we can feel that weight evenly under all the corners of the feet, the big toe and the small toe and the centre point of the heel. So we are feeling grounded, we're feeling stable and secure. If you have your eyes closed, open your eyes, lift your shoulders up to your ears and roll them down your back. I don't know anything like me, but when I roll them down my back, there's sometimes a little bit of a disconcerting crunch. But anyway, we'll ignore that. Let's do that a couple more times. Just lifting the shoulders up and rolling them down, giving them a little bit of a shake, wiggling the toes a little bit if you want to. We don't have to remain static. We can move around in our mountain pose. And then from here, just coming into a gentle swaying twist. Just bringing a little bit of mobility into the back, letting the shoulders feel soft, letting the arms just gently move from side to side. You can make this as powerful or as gentle as you want to. Lovely little sway into the body here, just loosening things up a touch. Just doing a couple more of these, and then when we come back to centre, we're going to lift the arms all the way over the head, interlace the fingers and send the palms up towards the ceiling. I really hope my hands are in shot here. And we're going to drop that left hand down to the side and reach overhead with that right arm, keeping that left shoulder away from the ear. As we inhale, we return the palms together and then drop the right arm down, reaching over to the left. So try not to spin or twist from the waist, bringing that length into our left side of the body here, relaxing the right shoulder away from the ear, reaching the right arm up as we touch the palms together and bring our hands down towards our heart. Opening the arms out now into this goddess arm position. So your elbow is roughly in line with your shoulder. Palms can face in or out, it's really entirely up to you. And as we do this, push your elbows behind you a little bit. So if I just turn my back to you, you're pushing your elbows behind you, so your shoulder blades are squeezing together. I don't know if you can see that. And then on your next breath, We're going to round through the back and give yourself a little bit of a hug. It's almost like a standing cat-cow. I'll just move myself around, it makes life a little easier for you to see. So the arms are out, and as we inhale, we draw the elbows back, maybe even lifting the gaze, so we're opening out through the front of the body. And then as we exhale, a gentle round through the spine as we hug our arms into us, tucking our chin into the chest. Moving with the breath, we open out. And we exhale. And we draw it in again. Just do a couple more of these. Again, moving with the breath, just feeling that gentle mobilization through the spine, working its way through the spine, all the way from the lower part up to the middle, up to the top, maybe even including the neck as well in these gentle stretches. Coming into a balanced position now, move your feet around. We are going to bring that weight into our right foot, and we're going to take our left knee in towards us, just lifting it up, working into the front of the hip here, seeing if we can take a hold of that knee and just drawing it in. Sometimes, and it is just a generalization, the back can become a little tight or sore because the hips are tight. So even though this is a practice for the back, we are working other parts of the body, because after all it is all connected. So we're going to draw that knee in towards us. If you find a point in front of you to focus on, that might assist your balance. And as we're holding onto that left leg, we can take that right arm out to the side as well as a little counterbalance. And as we do that, you might be able just to open out that knee, keeping the front of this right hip facing forward as we draw that left knee out to the side. Coming back to centre, and then taking this left ankle and placing it over that right thigh, so just above the knee. We all wobble, don't worry about it, sometimes more often than other times. And when we are in this standing pigeon pose, see if we can just sit down a little bit into this squat, open our arms once more into that goddess, and as we exhale, cross the arms in front of us, backs of the hands together, and lift the elbows away and up. A very tricky balance, and if you are managing to maintain your poise here, then full marks to you. Let's open out the arms, lift that left knee, and drop the foot to the floor. The right ankle might be feeling a little bit tight, so give it a little wobble here. You might be feeling it in the outside of the hip as well. We have two sides of the body. It would be unfair not to do the same on the opposite side. So we bring the weight into this left foot. Find our foundations. Find our focal point in front of us. And then we just lift that right knee up, hugging it in towards us here. Squeezing it in. Finding that balance, maybe taking our left arm out to the side as a little bit of a counterbalance here, and possibly opening out through that right hip. Noticing the difference between this side and the opposite side as well. You might have more movement in one side than the other, keeping that left front of the hip facing forward if we can. Bringing it back to centre and crossing that right ankle over the left leg now. Sit down into your little pigeon squat, pushing that right foot away from you, so flexing through that foot as we open our arms out. Cross them in front of us, opposite cross if you remember, don't worry if you don't. Backs of the hands or even front of the hands together as you push your elbows away and lift them up. See if you can hold it here just for a breath or two and maintain that breathing before opening out, standing up, lifting the knee and dropping the foot to the floor. Excellent work. That is not easy at all. Taking a wide step now on your mat. Planting your feet firmly, lifting the shoulders up once more. shrugging the shoulders down. We're going to keep our right foot facing the long edge of the mat and just turn our left foot to face the short edge. 2 straight legs here as we come into our triangle position, reaching the arms up to shoulder height, and as we inhale, keeping our shoulders soft if we can, we lengthen forward as though we're trying to reach something. As we exhale, turn your palms to face the front and just rotate over. Lifting that left arm towards the ceiling and that right arm towards the ceiling and keeping that right shoulder rotated backwards. Don't worry how far down your left leg this hand travels, it really doesn't matter. I always find it really comfortable to take this top arm behind the back as well. Opens out the chest, helps maintain that good posture in our general day-to-day life here. Bend into that left knee. Use that bend to push through the feet and bring yourself back up to standing. And all we're going to do here is turn on our feet so that left foot faces the long edge, the right foot faces the opposite short edge. We take a breath in, we inhale and reach, and we exhale and we rotate. Left arm extends, right arm drops, possibly left hand behind the back. See if you can feel that weight evenly between your front foot and your back foot as well, so you're not drawing your weight too far forward here. As we turn our gaze back towards that left foot, that right foot, left and right honestly, push into the foot, bend the knee and come back up to standing, turning both feet to face the long edge of your mat. Now as we bring the hands behind us, I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see this. So your feet are nice and wide. Stepping off my mat a little bit here. Draw your palms down towards the earth. So we're opening out the chest, squeezing through the arms, drawing the shoulders down, keeping some control through our centre as well. Now I'm going to give you a couple of options here. I have quite a bad back for folding forward, so I'm really not going to fold very far forward at all. And we can do this stretch just staying in an upright position. We're squeezing the arms and we're lifting them away from the body. Don't worry how far they come away, that's a genetic thing as well, how your skeleton slots together. So some of you will be in this position, some of you will be in this position. Just what feels good for you. If you would like to introduce a bend here, we're going to hinge from our hips, keep our gaze forward, and as we exhale, keeping a straightness through the back, just bending forward. And again, you can come as far forward as your body allows you. So you might have the crown of your head towards the floor, you may be in this position, or we can just stay upright. Whatever feels good. Very slowly, with control, rooting through the feet, feeling the legs support you as you come back up to your standing position. Bringing your feet together on your mat once more, find your mountain pose, find your foundations, and just take a moment or two here to re-establish your breath, to re-establish your body awareness so you can feel that weight evenly through your feet, to re-establish the position of where you are, where you're standing in this space. And we are going to bring ourselves down towards our mat now. So if you turn to face the front of your mat, then we're going to take a step back with one foot or the other, hips facing forward. We're going to bring a little bend into that front leg, front knee. So we're coming into this lunge posture, and then we're going to step the other knee back to join it. So we are kneeling on our mat. Now, if your knees are feeling a little bit sore, just kneeling on the mat, what you can do is roll over your mat. Obviously you can have a blanket as well, if that feels easier. It just provides a little bit of extra padding. Taking our knees about hip distance apart. So the knees are underneath the hips. We're going to squeeze our glute muscles and we're going to rest the hands on the front of our hips, on the side and the front of our hips. We're going to keep the back straight for this one. Feet can be flat to the floor, toes can be tucked, again whatever feels good. Draw your belly muscles in as though someone's going to punch you, so you're engaging your core muscles here. So nice control over your centre, but still allow yourself to breathe. And then from this position, all we're going to do is lean backwards. Not too far, I don't want you falling over behind you. And I don't want your posture to crumple, so you're maintaining this control through your centre. You'll feel your thighs really wake up here. They'll be saying, oh my goodness, what is going on? And then you draw yourself forward. So you might only be coming back an inch or two. You really don't have to move too far to begin to feel it in the front of your legs. And just as I said earlier when we were doing the little hip balance posture, leg strength plays a huge part in supporting your back. So if you have weak muscles in your hips and in your legs, it can affect your back. Not always, but it can. So it's always good to work other parts of the body when you're thinking about your back. Let's do that a few more times. Okay, so you're only going towards your edge. You're not going too far. By continuing your smooth flow of breath, that should be your guide here. So when you're ready, very slowly take yourself back, and on your inhale, imagine you are being drawn forward. 2 more here, taking it back and coming forward, giving your glutes a good old squeeze when you do this as well. Last time, taking it back. Might be going a little bit further. Can we just hold it for 1, for 2, and 3. Draw yourself back, sit down on your bottom and roll your mat out if you've been using that as a little cushion. So we have now come down onto the floor, onto our mats. If we come onto all fours here and stack our wrists underneath our shoulders, our knees underneath our hips, and just move ourselves through a gentle cat-cow, very similar of course to our standing one that we did at the top of the class. Just once or twice through our cat-cow. And then lifting our left arm up towards the ceiling. As we breathe out, we're going to take that left arm and thread it underneath our right as we drop the left shoulder and the side of the head to the earth. Inhale, reaching our right arm up to the ceiling. And then, if it feels okay, wrapping that hand behind the back, coming into a thread the needle posture. If you want to test your balance a little bit, you can inhale your right leg out beside you. Keep your toes to the floor. I don't think we'll take it any further than this today. Reaching your right arm back up, returning the hand to the floor, taking yourself back onto all fours. As we sweep our right arm up, as we exhale, we take it through, threading it under the left. Drop the shoulder, the head to the earth. Inhale, reaching that left arm up. You can keep the hand here, or you can take it behind the back. Draw your belly in, so find your control through your centre. Maybe taking that left leg out to the side, out behind you. Take it to the side if you want as well. Inhale, left arm lifts. Hand comes to the floor. Use that hand to help push you all the way back up. And return right hand and left knee back down towards the floor. Walking your hands a little bit further in front of you now. And taking your knees a little bit further behind you. Keeping your back in that flat position. See if you can lower with control all the way down towards the floor. So using the muscles through your arms, your shoulders and your chest to lower yourself nice and gently down towards the earth. And when we get there, bringing your forearms in front of you. Elbows under shoulders. I always have to think about body parts. I always, for some bizarre reason, want to say shoulders under elbows. But anyway, here we are with our elbows underneath our shoulders. into a very little baby back bend called Sphinx pose. Drawing the shoulders down, keeping the gaze forward so we're not straining through the neck to look up or looking down here. We're just keeping that beautiful long neck. Take a lovely breath in. And this might be as far as you want to go in this back bend. There should be no pinching, no pain, no pins and needles. It's just a beautiful stretch down the length of your spine. If you have a naturally deep curve in your back and you would like to take your back bend a tinsy bit further, we can come into Cobra. Lowering yourself down, taking your hands underneath your shoulders. Again, keeping that neutral neck. As we inhale, we can lift up into a Cobra. I do not have a bend in my back, so for me to go any further would not be a great idea. Some people can come into straight arms, some remain straight, some, like me, happy in Sphinx pose. Wherever you are, we are going to lower all the way back down to the mat, taking our forehead or our chin. Always a tricky one with glasses, so I'm going to remove them onto the floor. And draw your arms behind you. Turn your palms face up. This has the immediate effect of drawing the shoulders down, just like we were in mountain pose when we're standing in our mountain pose. As we inhale, keeping that neck long, lifting the head and the shoulders and the chest off the mat here. Keep the feet on the floor if you can. Take a lovely deep breath in and exhale. Lower down. Inhale, reaching the fingertips to the toes, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders, maybe even interlacing the fingers behind you for an extra stretch if that's where you want to be today. Exhale. Lower it down. Let's just do that one more time. Begin by lifting the arms and reaching the fingertips, drawing the belly in, keeping the gaze to the earth, the neck is long, and we exhale, lowering it down, and as we do so, making a little bit of a pillow out of our forearms and just resting the head on the forearms. Let the heels fall out to the side and just relax into this posture. To finish our class today, we are going to flip ourselves over onto our backs. Well, I say flip. We're going to come very carefully back up onto all fours, walking your knees in, sitting down, and then just coming to lie down on your back. We're going to keep the knees bent. There we go. Lowering yourself down. Keeping your knees bent, just taking your feet to the outside edges of the mat and let one knee drop into the other. Placing your hands on your belly if you want, and closing the eyes. Take a deep breath in, filling the lungs, filling the abdomen, and a long breath out. You can even sigh that breath out through the mouth. Nice deep breath in, feeling the body relaxing onto the mat here. Finding a little bit of softness around the muscles in the face, the eyes, the forehead, the jaw. And before we finish completely, keeping your knees touching, just heel toe your feet in towards each other. And then dropping your knees very gently towards the right. You can even move your legs so that one leg is stacked on top of the other. By keeping your hands on your belly, you can feel the rise and fall with your breath. Using that inhale to draw the knees back to centre, and the exhale to slowly drop them over towards the opposite side. the knees don't touch the floor, it can be quite useful to have a cushion to hand, and you can place a cushion under the knees as well, just so they're not hanging in midair. We want to finish our class on a note of feeling supported, relaxed. Inhale, let's bring those knees back to centre. Take the feet wide once more, the knees remain bent and the knees drop into each other. So our leg, one leg is supporting the other leg. Our feet are grounded to the earth. The back of our head is on the mat. And become aware of which part of your spine is in contact with the floor and which part there may be a little gap, depending on, of course, your natural curves in the spine. And I invite you to stay here for as long as you feel comfortable. You might want to stay here for maybe 5 or 10 breaths before bringing movement back into your body. And when you do choose to move back, walk the feet together, maybe hugging one or both knees in towards you, before making your way back into a seated position to carry on with your day. I'm going to stay here for a moment or two longer. Thank you very much for joining me on the mat today, and I hope your back and your posture will thank you for it. See you again very soon.